You are listening to Comedy Club for Kids presents Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense. How's that for a greeting noise? I was watching a programme about Vikings where they had this war horn, right, that they'd play like an instrument whenever they sort of arrived, like going into battle, and they'd sort of go, "Hoo, we're here." I don't know how Vikings talk. Probably that, isn't it? "Hello, I'm a Viking." I'd have thought it's something like that. Or maybe, I suppose they're Norwegians and more like, "Hello, I'm a Viking." Anyway, I just felt very sad that we as humans don't do that anymore when we turn up at places. You know, it's all just sort of, "Hello, hi, how you doing?" Bit boring. I'd really like it if to announce our arrival in places, we all had our own sort of war horn type instrument or vuvuzela or even just sort of angry recorder where you could walk in and go, "Blah!" and everyone would know you were there, right? Imagine how much more interesting that would be. Like, you know, you turn up to a party, you know, or imagine like the register in your class at school. Jeremy Popples, blah. Claire Knees, refrigerator waffle face, whoo. You know, just you all had your own one. I'm just saying, it'd be much better. So I've been practicing my own noise, which, as you heard, is whoo. And I'm really hoping it'll take off. I'm just doing that with my face. I don't have a sort of like a kind of war horn or angry recorder to do it with yet, but maybe I'll find one. Currently, though, the general response has just been people saying, "What a racket," which it isn't because it's got nothing to do with tennis. Or, "Could you keep the noise down?" which is a very silly question, because if someone says, "Could you keep the noise down?" you can always answer, like I did, "Well, yes, I could, but I don't want to. This is my new introduction noise. Hoo!" Whenever someone says like something is too noisy, it really confuses me, because aren't all noises too noisy? Isn't that what makes them noises? Like, if you made a noise and it wasn't noisy and it was smelly, like, I'm not sure the person complaining would be any happier. Like, if you made something, your noise was too smelly. That sounds horrible. So anyway, whoo, and welcome to Comedy Club for Kids, the official Comedy Club for Kids podcast suitable for all ages from to and everything in between. I like noise. It's brilliant, isn't it? Obviously, that's one of the reasons this show exists, because, as you probably realise, it's all noise and only occasionally smell, thanks to all the farting animals you regularly send in. I don't really like peace and quiet. I don't know about you. I don't know if you enjoy peace and quiet. The peace bit is great. I love peace, you know, or even peas. I like peas as well. Whichever it is, really, peace or peas, I'm very happy. But the quiet bit, like, people think that's relaxing, but I just think, why is it so quiet? Where's everyone gone? What's happening? Are they going to surprise me or scare me or jump out, or maybe everyone's left and I'm stuck at home by myself? It's just, it sort of freaks me out. It's not really what I want. So yeah, I like noise, and in fact I like noise so much that every single one of your emails and reviews that we've received at Comedy Club for Kids HQ this week, I have read out aloud while shouting them. And even when I've not read it out aloud, I've still shouted, but it's sort of harder to do as it's kind of inside your own head, and then you get a bit dizzy and you feel a bit sick. So, firstly, this week, I would like to say thanks to Banjo Scouty, who sent in an amazing picture of some t-shirt design ideas for the Comedy Club for Kids store. And they include a brilliant robot with a radio head shouting, "Linda!" which is very noisy. So I love it. I love a noisy robot shouting, "Linda! Linda, what did you think of this drawing from Banjo, Linda?" Linda? Nowhere to be seen again. It's really odd. I did leave a boiled sweet out for Linda yesterday and a bowl of old stamps, which are her favourite snack. But today they're just still here, sort of untouched. It's very odd. Anyway, there's that brilliant Linda shouting robot, and maybe I should get one of those so it could shout for Linda instead of me, and then I wouldn't have to shout, although I do like the shouting. That is one of my favourite things. And then Banjo has also drawn a stinky hippo wallowing in, I mean, I guess it could be mud. It might be something much more stinky. But anyway, I love it. They're brilliant drawings. Thank you tons for sending it in, Banjo. And next time we do designs for t-shirts on Comedy Club for Kids store, who knows? Who knows? They might end up there. They might not. They may just inspire us to do something else. But I absolutely loved getting the drawing. Thank you. Also, this week, a big thanks to Ben, aged 8, who gave this show a nice review on Apple Podcasts and said, and I'll read this how I read it in my head, It's the best podcast in existence, that is a very nice thing to say, Ben. Thank you. But also, I wonder if there are podcasts that don't exist that are better, though. That's what I'm worried about. Because you say we're the best podcast in existence. That's great. But are there podcasts that don't exist? That are really good? Like, is there a Comedy Club for Myths podcast? Can anyone ever hear it, or do they just have to hear rumours about it and then sort of go searching in the mountains? I will investigate the Comedy Club for Myths podcast. I'm not really sure how to or where to start. I may have to listen to some old stories. Linda, any ideas where the Comedy Club for Myths live? Linda? Do you even exist, Linda? Oh, wait, maybe Linda has a non-existent podcast. I bet that's what's happened, She has run off to not start her own competitor to this show, which is unbelievable. You think you know someone and then they turn out to be someone completely different. But in this case, I didn't actually know Linda at all, and I still don't really know who she is. Ben also kindly gave us one farting hippo and one farting otter, so I guess that is all our farting aquatic mammals intake sorted for today. Probably need some more tomorrow if anyone wants to send us a farting duck-billed platypus. I'm not really sure which other ones there are. A weasel. No, weasels aren't very watery, are they? Stoat, probably a stoat. Anyway, it'd be nice to complete the collection, but it's lovely of Ben to give us two to get that going. Thank you. And also to Willow, who gave our show 5 stars and asked, do you watch Hey Dougie? If not, you are missing out. Well, thanks, Willow. I definitely do watch Hey Dougie, and it is brilliant. And listen, a little bit of a secret between you and me, Radio Nonsense listeners. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this yet, but if you look out for new episodes, which are going to be starting very soon, you might notice a familiar name has written a few of them. No, it's not your name. That'd be really weird. Like, how would you do that without knowing in your sleep? No, it's not your grown-up's name. No, look, no. I'm saying I'm excited to have written on the new series of Hey Dougie, so look out for that, which I think isn't too far away, and you might see my name pop up on 1, maybe 2. Who knows? We'll see. But it is very exciting, and I can't wait to see them too. Thanks also to those of you who've sent in your brilliant, weird, and funny facts to enter into our competition to win a 6-month free subscription to Britannica magazine. That competition, I've said before, is for UK listeners only, but if you aren't in the UK and you want to send me funny facts anyway, then go for it, because I've been really enjoying reading them. And if you don't want to enter and you just want to check out Britannica magazine that gives actual facts, apparently, just like this podcast that's full of real facts, then you can head to britannicamagazine.co.uk. And in this month's issue, it's got a whole bit about weird creatures, and my favourite is the glass frog, right? I don't know if you know about the glass frog, but it can make its belly and chest see-through. What? So when someone says, like, hey, glass frog, what did you have for lunch? It can just go, look, ta-da! That is so much easier than having to tell them every single crisp. The competition is open until June the 30th, so do send in your favourite weird and funny facts before then, and I will pick 3 winners. Yes, 3! Not 1, not 2, not 4, not 5. You get it, 3. I'm going to choose 3 of you to win, and you'll get the magazine completely free for 6 months. And of course, if you want to get in touch about anything else, but particularly questions that you need comedians to answer on this here podcast, then get your nearest bungling Grumbletonians, I'm sorry, grown-ups, to help you email me at podcast@comedyclubforkids.co.uk. And don't forget, we've got loads of Radio Nonsense t-shirts and our Comedy Club for Kids book at comedyclubforkids.store, which you can order wherever you are in the world, except the sea. I don't think they delivered to the sea yet, and that is partly, I'm sad to say, due to legal threats that we've had from the Comedy Club for Squids team about doing that. They said that that's their turf, and crabs also find t-shirts hard to wear because they've got lots of legs. Anyway, it's very complicated. I hope the Comedy Club for Myths team don't get angry if we deliver to places that don't exist, which I don't think we do, but I'm going to have to look into it. It's all very complicated. Okay, I would like to introduce the most important bit of the show now using my new introduction noise. Woo! I'm very excited that on the show today is the brilliant Sikisa, aka SK, defeater of Souffle, Lieutenant Shenanigans, and in Iceland, where of course you're known as Notande Bestu Shokanda. But of course, all of our listeners will know you for your groundbreaking work into why you can't eat a table with a tablespoon, your undefeated reign as world champion yak tamer, and of course, what all our listeners will know you for, you're the first person ever to be acknowledged as having a real superpower for your ability to always find the end of the sellotape on your first go. It is lovely to have you on the show. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you very much. I will say I'm very glad that you acknowledged my yak taming.
You're famous for it. It's
Thank you.
what
I
you
really
know.
appreciate that.
It's what everyone around here like talks about you as, is like no one's seen a yak tamed in quite such a calm and an expert manner before.
Yeah, the yak whisperer. I feel that, and I know you say tamer, but I feel like I'm the yak whisperer. Just namaste to the yaks.
Wow, wow. Even you saying that, I can sort of feel like I can get the vibes they must feel, because you're so calming. Just even doing that, and it's what was it about yaks in particular that you felt like they were the ones that needed the calming?
I just feel like they've been so overlooked by cows over the last
Mm,
hundreds of years. They didn't get the recognition that they deserved. And I feel like a lot of them were angry because of that. So I feel like we just needed to, be like, yaks, let's just
yeah.
take a moment. Let's just have a conversation. Let's just take that inner anger and let's just put it to the side, shall we? Just namaste.
Ah, that's lovely. That is, and you're right. I didn't think about it, because I would look at a yak and then look at a cow and think a yak's clearly better because it's massive and it's really hairy. But then you do get those hairy cows in like Scotland, and maybe they were like taking, it was kind of causing issue because it's like this is yak turf, you know.
Yeah, I feel like the yaks were getting just that's what I'm saying. I feel like the yaks were just getting really angry, like because they just wasn't getting the recognition that they deserve. All the cows were getting all the recognition. Even Angus burgers are like so popular now from the Angus
Mm,
cows. And I just think the yaks were like, what about us? Where are we? We are so diverse and so in a minority, and we are not getting the recognition that we deserve. And I was like, you know what, yak? You know what? I'm
yeah.
here for you.
That's good because they don't need to. Like cows, it's all like, oh, we got the milk, we got the cheese, we got the yogurt, we got the beef, we got all the.
Mm.
Yaks should be happy. They don't need to compete with that though, do they? They can just be themselves.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the message that I was just trying to tell them, that how you could just be yourself, just enjoy your best life, just enjoy the fact that you don't have this recognition, because that means that you are able to do what you need to do, and that's just be happy.
Yeah, wow, that's lovely. Well, I'm glad you're doing it because I don't think anyone else is, and it's a shame, but also it's good because it's kind of opened the path for you to be a specialist in it. And it's why I know obviously I'm really grateful that you're able to make time for this podcast because you've been pretty busy with it, haven't you? Is that what you're up to this morning or something
No,
else?
actually, this morning I was just talking to some geese, just
Oh,
making sure that, yeah, just making sure that they were like all good to go. Obviously, we're just gearing up for the winter. I know, like, we haven't hit summer yet, but we are just gearing up for winter. So we just need to get
right.
them in a nice mind space, just making sure that everyone's on board. This flock of geese that I've got, Brixton Savage, massive, is what I'm. Yeah, they're good lads, good lads, good lads, good bunch of people in terms of the geese, the flock of geese. But they just needed just to, there had been some tension in the group, so I just feel like we just needed to like namaste it out, and just like
Wow.
just make sure everyone's back on the same par. Just in everyone, summer's coming. Let's just enjoy the summer, get the barbecues going, just enjoy all of that, and then when it comes to winter, back on board in unison.
Wow, that's lovely. I didn't realize you worked with others as well. A geese. I always felt like geese were quite stressed. Do you know what I mean? That it's
Yeah,
the noise, the kind of honk, like that is always like you
yeah.
don't make that noise if you're just chilled. You
See,
know.
what I like to do is work with underprivileged animals,
Mm,
just because, again, I feel like some people don't have the recognition as the other animals in this world, and I feel like they feel like they're on the side burner,
mm.
and I just don't want them to feel like that. Like everyone is equal in my eyes,
Oh,
and therefore, like we just need to make sure that they're all happy, excited about their journey in their life. And like I said, especially when there's some tensions going on, the
mm.
tensions that happen personally can reflect on a group setting. You just want to make sure that everyone's just like cool. Just
Yeah.
want to work with other animals. There's some animals that I don't like working with, but we won't get into that because I don't want them to feel like I am putting them on blast.
Well, I mean, I I know you don't want to get into it, but I'm curious. Are they? maybe we won't say what those animals are because I don't want to, as you said, we don't want to, and we don't want to get in trouble legally, But are there? Is it animals that are like selfish, or is it animals that are kind of pompous? What's the thing that you're like? No, I'm not. I'm not going to work with you. What is it? What is it that an animal does that you're like? That's you're out the group.
Okay, I'll tell you what it is. It's sharks. Like, I'm not
Oh,
working with sharks. I'm not working with sharks. I'm
hey, that's
not.
fair.
I'm
That's
not working
fair.
with sharks. I'm not doing it. I'm not working with sharks. I'm also not working with spiders.
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
I'm not
fair.
working
Yeah,
with spiders. I'm sorry. Like, they are not involved and not like, to be honest with you, spiders, I'm going to share this with you, right? Spiders are the most arrogant out of all of them. What I tell you, oh my God, what I tell you, how arrogant these spiders are, just because they've got 8 legs and they're
yeah,
able just to walk around wherever they and
yeah.
just popping up everywhere they go. Just like, I'm in a car, I'm outside the car, I'm in a window, I'm in the food. Like, go away. Why are you got to pop up everywhere?
Yeah. Do you know what? I agree because like spiders, like I've got 8 legs. And you're like, what about a worm? Like, give some to a worm, give some to a snake.
Yeah,
There's these creatures out there that haven't got any legs, and you're just showing off in their face with all your
yeah.
many legs. Like, oh, I can wear eight socks. Like, yeah, no one cares.
I just think they're so selfish, and I just don't appreciate that arrogance when they come in. Every time I've tried to work, I'm open with everyone. I've just tried to work with spiders quite a bit, and every time I have come into a session with spiders, it's all about them.
Yeah.
It's all about them, and I'm just like, you know what? That's not what my that's not how I live my sessions. That's not what we do in our sessions. It's all about the yin, the yang, the zen, and they're just bringing a different environment and vibe, and that's not what I need.
No, and I bet when you go into those sessions, you walk into a web, don't you? Immediately, there's a web across the
Yeah,
door, and there's
it's,
probably webs on all the chairs, and then
oh
you've got
my
to try and get
God.
it off your face. That's what they
Yeah,
always do.
it's
It's selfish. It's really
and
selfish.
I keep telling them, don't get it in my hair,
Mm.
and they keep getting it in my hair. To have to get a web out your hair is the most annoying thing in the world, and I don't really want flies attract. That's the other thing. Like, the web will attract the flies, and
Yeah,
I don't need that. I don't
yeah,
need that. I just
yeah,
don't need that kind of negativity in my life. So spiders are notoriously out. Sharks, you know what?
yeah.
The sharks. Oh my God. I think I've got okay. The reason I think there's sort of beef between me and the sharks because I did another podcast and I was talking about how in my office I've got a shark tank, and I don't
Right,
think they were happy about that. But what I didn't realize that how it wasn't like a big shark; it was just a
right.
small shark, and the
Okay,
shark was living its best life in my office. But like, I don't think the sharks really appreciated it. So I think I'm on
sure.
bad terms with the sharks at the moment.
Were they
So
sort of
it's
worried you'd taken like one of theirs captive, as it were, like a kind of like a shark hostage? Was that the kind of
yeah, like,
issue? Right.
but the shark was there, like they volunteered to be there.
Right, sure, sure, of course, yeah, of course. Well, I would trust you not to just kidnap a shark, even if you don't like them. I know that you're so caring with animals that if a shark was going to be in your office, though, it probably. I'm guessing it wrote to you or it contacted you asking to be like hang out.
Yeah, it just wanted to be like it just needed some company, to be honest. And like, you know what, I was like, you know what, I've got some spare time. I'm in my
Mm.
office quite a bit at the moment, you know. Why don't you just come and live with me? Like, it was like a roommate. It
Yeah,
was a bit like a roommate. We were just chilling, a bit like a roommate. Um, like, and to be honest, the shark did was like very cool and collective on their side. I was doing my writing on one side. They were occasionally like clocked eyes with each other and just had a bit of a hey, how you doing kind of moment throughout the day. But other than that, it was very chilled, calm, and collective.
that's nice. That's really nice, and
Yeah.
that's how like all your beliefs, all these animals should work together. You were working together with a shark, and now sharks are being difficult. I mean, I gotta say, I don't like sharks, and I think the whole kind of eating people thing isn't very nice, or eating
Mm,
seals, or eating just eating. They
mm,
seem to just eat everything, and it's like maybe calm down, have a sandwich, leave everyone else
yeah,
alone. You know,
yeah. That's what I feel like. I feel like they're very aggressive when
yeah,
they come to like this is why I never want to go to Australia. Just because I just feel like they're gonna come after me. And
yeah,
like I don't want to I have to be in that situation where I've got to, potentially have to punch the shark on his nose in order for me to like. I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to have to do it. I know I'm South London, but I'm not that South London. Like I don't want to. I don't want to have
Yeah.
to do that
Well,
with
also,
with a shark.
there's no sharks in South London, so that's not. I don't think that stops you being South London not wanting to punch a shark in the nose because there aren't sharks in South London. So, like, it's not something that South Londoners have to come up against. Do you know what I mean? I feel like
Yeah,
it's still reasonable, and I can see your problem with Australia because you go to the sea, there's sharks, there's going to be issues. You go on the land, there's spiders there, there's going to be issues.
yeah.
It's not it's it. I don't know what they're doing in Australia, and I know we've got Australian listeners to this show, but sort it out. Make the sharks and spiders. Maybe the spiders can sit on the backs of the sharks. They can all go somewhere else, live on a little island where they just annoy each other.
New Zealand.
New Zealand. There you go. That's it. Send them all to New Zealand. And I know
Yeah.
we've got some New Zealand listeners, but hey, you're nice people. I'm sure you'd welcome
Yeah,
them.
you love them.
could-
Yeah. If anything, I feel like New Zealand can rehabilitate the sharks.
Yeah, exactly. To be more chilled out. And what have they got in New Zealand? They've got lots of sheep, haven't they? So, there's probably, I don't know, would make sharks more like sheep or just feed the sharks the sheep. I don't know. One or the other would probably be quite nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So I'm just all around just quite very open with the animals. Like I said, it's the ones that are not as privileged as others. I will say, however, giraffes just too high, too tall for me. It's really hard to communicate with giraffes because they're just so tall. Like the Wi-Fi doesn't reach that far.
Yeah, that's going to be hard, actually.
Yeah.
It is going to be hard because I suppose you can't shout up to them, but you say Wi-Fi doesn't reach, and if they lean their neck down, it's always at a weird angle. Yeah, I can see that being a problem. But then, like, I don't. Do you dislike giraffes, or is it just the communication issues? Because they don't seem like mean creatures to me.
No, it's just the communication. To be honest with you, like I always find that a little bit difficult. Just because, like I said, it's just too tall.
Have you tried like writing your message on a flag and then putting it up the top of a flagpole so that it's like right in front of their face?
Yeah, but that's quite. It's gonna be up and down. Yeah, every time it's very much like, put the flag up the flagpole.
What about if you put a TV, like a flat screen TV on a flagpole, and then you pulled that to the top, but then like you're on the TV because you're like being filmed live? But I suppose you can't hear them, can you? So
I can't hear them. Yeah, so.
And your job's all about communication, so that would seem a bit.
But at the moment in time, I am concentrating on the yaks. That's my focus at the moment.
That's fair. What about if you dug a pit and the giraffe got in the pit, so its head was at normal height?
But then how's the giraffe going to get back out?
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. I know you've thought this through. And I apologise for stepping on your toes with my ideas. Fine. But it's just I'm just aware that I quite like giraffes, and so I just feel sad that they can't take part. But
I love giraffes. I love a giraffe. It's just communication. Sometimes relationships just don't work, and you just got to deal with that. You just got to accept that. And
that's fair. Yeah,
that's how we just got to deal with it. You just got to accept it. But like I said, I just think at the moment I'm concentrating on the yaks.
Well, that's great, and it's so nice to have someone. I mean, I'm so pleased that you could do this show, and it's so nice to have someone with your energy on the show. Like, I'm feeling like a calming kind of vibe today. Normally, this show we're being sent in these. Oh no! Whoa! What was that? Oh my goodness! No, I wasn't. Wow. Well, that was unexpected.
Just wanted to throw something at you.
Well, I mean, that was amazing. You keep me on my toes, but I wasn't expecting that at all. That was, I have to say, I wasn't prepared. But I've rolled with it. It's all right. I'm okay.
Yeah,
but that was, but I liked it, and I think that's a pretty powerful element of surprise you got going on there. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think sometimes you just have to like throw things out there just to keep you on your toes. Just keep you on your toes. Just make sure everyone's like still awake.
Yeah,
I think that's very important.
I definitely am. I'm definitely awake. I'm definitely, if that helps, I'm not asleep right now, so that I'm definitely awake. Yeah, so that was really good. That's I was going to ask if that's going to happen again, but then it wouldn't be a surprise if you tell me. So I guess I've just got to like ready myself in case, or do I just let the guard down?
No, you don't. You don't have to ready. You just accept it. You just got to let things be. Just let things be, because
And is that, do you mean
That
like bees? Are those, is that like you work with bees, as in let things be,
oh,
or
I
you mean let
you
things
know
not?
I work
Right.
with bees, but only on the exchange of honey.
Okay, sure. So not let things bees, let things be, or
Let's
let
fit,
things
let's
bees
fit.
with honey. Right, right. That's all right. I'm just checking. I didn't want to cross what. Yeah, I didn't want to cross wires on what you meant with that
No, it's
important message.
perfect, fine. I appreciate that. No, I appreciate
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, I feel like I don't feel like I'm prepared enough for this show at all. I wasn't chilled enough, and now I wasn't like ready for the surprising. So this is exciting though. It's really exciting, and you know you're bringing something new to Radio Nonsense. This kind of like you said, the yin and yang of calm and absolute terror. But what I wanted to ask you, you know, we've got to get to the important bits. Is, you know, this is an audio podcast that you're
it.
on. I don't know if I hope you knew that, and all our guests, as I say every week, they listen to it. We hope with their ears. They might listen to it with their bums, their knees, their elbows. We don't know. We don't discriminate. However they want to listen to it, that's fine. And
Yeah.
I just wondered if you had a favourite noise that you could make for us for the podcast.
A favorite noise.
Hmm.
That you put me on the spot now. My favorite noise. Whoopah!
Wow, that's a great noise. That's a really good
Yeah, yeah,
noise.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a great noise. What would you say that's the noise of? Like what?
Um, a whip.
Yeah.
Um, just. But it's the noise that I like to make when I have done something like I've schooled someone
Hmm.
so well that I do an imaginary whip, but just whoopah!
Yeah, I like that. That's
Yeah,
really good. It's yeah, it's the noise like you would like shout as as you like did the whip. There's like yeah, whoop! I like that. It's
yeah,
really good.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
yeah, you because you couldn't really say that noise if you were like with any other emotion. You couldn't say it if you're feeling just a bit like grumpy. It's not like
Yeah, you
a
couldn't be like
whooper.
whooper.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really work. You have to
doesn't.
have the energy in it, just whooper! And
Yeah.
it's good when you're like achieve something. What's yours?
Oh, that's quite. It's tricky. I like a lot of different noises. I so
Ah!
you've. Oh my god! Oh no! She did it again! I don't believe it! Wow! I
Yeah,
was unbelievable. I mean, you're so good at that.
thank you. I
You're so
appreciate
good at
that.
that. Have you thought about one of those? I don't know if it's like even a job, but like you know, just sort of like one of those like horror trails where you jump out at people, or like being a thing that goes bump in the night, or like one of those sort of jobs, because you're really good at that sort of sneaking
I
up.
don't want to scare people.
Right,
I just want to make sure that they're awake.
right, sure,
And
sure.
yeah, so I feel because I'm not like I know those people love those horror movies and stuff like that. For me, not so much. Because yeah, it's not really great for me. But anyway, we're talking about your favorite noise. I don't want to just re-traumatize
Wow.
myself by
Yeah,
talking about horror movies. But
sure,
let's talk
sure.
about your favorite noise.
Yeah, no, I just, yeah, you're right, and I'm so impressed with you. Again, I just didn't see it coming. Totally crept up on me. It caught me out. It was amazing. There are ninjas that can be listening to this going, "How did she do that? That was, I can't even work that out. It's too skillful." Well, but yeah, yeah. My favorite noise. I don't know. I like lots. I keep hearing different noises on this podcast, and it changes my mind. But you've reminded me with your noise that I quite like. Kapow! Because
Ah,
that
good
is
one.
also like a sort of kapow, and it's just that it's not a whip. I don't know what it would be that you kapow things with, but it's that same energy of like yeah kapow, you know?
Yeah, like you just like, for example, like tied your shoelaces perfectly. Kapow!
Yes,
Or like you've just got like a really good score on your exam. Kapow! That kind
yes.
of, yeah,
That's
yeah,
exactly it. That is exactly it. It's that kind of yeah. I just tamed a yak. Kapow! I've just had a great sandwich. Kapow! It's like it just
yeah,
feels like it's a proper kind of I've won something type noise.
yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Same with the whooper.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that's what you reminded me. I don't know if I'd have said kapow as my favorite noise earlier, but then you told me the whoopah, and I was like, oh, wow, I like noises like that just kind of gear you up, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely good. Wow. Well, thank you. That's a fantastic noise. And the other thing that I have to ask you, you know, the rules of the show, it's a family friendly show. It's suitable for people of all possible ages you can imagine. Can you imagine an age out of interest?
Can I imagine myself at an age?
Oh no, just an age. Can you just imagine an age, any age?
Oh yeah, like 67.
Yeah, perfect. There you go. That's so suitable for 67. It's suitable for all ages you can imagine, except 100. Long story. We discuss it on a lot of podcasts. Not 100, but every other age up to 99, and then 101 onwards. Suitable for all of them.
Cool.
Yeah, it's very. Look, the listeners are quite bored of me talking about it now, but it just a lot of issues with 100-year-olds. Anyway, so but other than them, they're like the sharks of age. Anyway, so anyway, but it's suitable for all ages apart from 100. And I just wondered if there was going to be if there was a rude word that you won't be saying to make sure this stays family friendly.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want me to say the word, because I don't really want to distress the listeners.
Sure.
But okay. So the rude word that I won't be saying, but I will say for this one occasion, but I will never say, is the worst, rudest word in the world. Hummus.
Oh no. Oh,
just oof. Yeah.
Wow, hummus. Yeah, that's maybe
Sorry, I'm just quite upset right now.
Sorry. I'm sorry I got you to say. You know what? I normally it's good if people say the words so we know they're not going to say it. But now that you've said that, I feel bad that you had to, and I'm really sorry.
It's okay. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. We just had to get it out, just so everyone knew.
Well, look, I really appreciate you not saying hummus for the rest of the show, and I won't say it. I won't say hummus ever again.
You just said it.
No, but I have to tell you, I'm not saying it, so it's okay. So don't worry about it. Yeah,
that's fine.
Thank you. Thank you. No more hummus. So, listen, the reason that I've got you on the show, obviously, is apart from all your expertise, apart from the incredible. Oh no! Oh my goodness! What? Kapow! That was amazing. I didn't expect that at all. That was.
I just had to check myself up a little bit after having to reveal the rude word. So
that's fair. Did that cheer you up? It amazed me. Yeah,
I'm back on par.
I'm now. I think the first one was a surprise. Second one was a little bit scary, and the third one, I'm like, oh yeah, happen again. It's good. It's got that kind of rule of three thing. It's brilliant. Yeah, it's very good. It's just amazing. I just don't know how you. Anyway, yeah. Well, that's the other reason we got you on the podcast. It's amazing. But we've got a question that has been sent in, and I'm going to read this person's name. I say person. Their name is Chrome. Totally legitimate. Wait. Chrome, totally legitimate camel. That's their name. So they could be a camel.
Could be a camel, which is obviously on my brand.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, that's what I thought. It's right up your street. And or they could be a person, and their name is Chrome, totally legitimate camel, and that could be like a surname. I don't know them.
Could be like you log into things on like laptops or like the internet, and they want you to check like how many camels are in a square.
Yes.
To make sure that you're verified as a human person. Maybe it's that. Maybe that.
Oh, maybe it's the square that's like got in contact with us.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's nice though, because it's nice to know they get some time off in between having to let other people click on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, everyone deserves a break. I feel like pot work 24 hours a day. Everyone deserves like lunchtime. So
yeah. Well, maybe Chrome Totally Legitimate Camel sent this on their lunch break when people weren't verifying themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you know. What I love that this show is open to any listeners, really, no matter whether they're sort of digital, I suppose, or animal. I think that's wow. It's nice to have that sort of reach as a podcast. So it's very exciting. Well, the Chrome Totally Legitimate Camel. They've kind of asked 3 questions, but they've written them as though it's one question. So would you like me to ask you it all at once, like it's one question?
I would like you to do both. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I'll ask you it as though it's one question in all one go, and then I'll ask it as 3 separate questions as well. Okay. So first one, why do you burp? Do party poopers poop? Why? That's all one question. But as 3 questions, it would be, why do you burp? Do party poopers poop? Why?
Okay.
How would you like to tackle that?
Why do we burp? So we don't have gas inside us. That's what I would like to say. because obviously when you eat and drink food, very gassy. And also it's better for us to burp out the front and not
Yeah.
the back. So
Sure. That's
I would
true.
prefer to burp because you can do like a nice quiet burp, like a
Yeah.
okay,
Oh,
you couldn't really hear that because it was a very quiet one. Or you could do a really loud one. And I think if you do a loud one, people are like, at least we know that you're no longer gassy.
yeah. Sure. So
What, what?
it's to get the gas out. Which, but I mean, do we not want to keep the gas in? Like, wouldn't it be fun to float around?
No, I feel like if you end up getting all the gas in and you started floating around, then people might take advantage of you. And what if you like get hooked into a like imagine like it would be nice to fly. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. Like,
Yeah.
right. But there are better ways that we could potentially fly. Because I feel like if you got gas, blew yourself up to be like swerved out into the sky. Imagine if you get stuck in a tree
Yeah. That's
and then you
true.
can't get down because you're you got gas. And that means you either got to let out all the gas
Yeah.
and then fall from a tree, which might, let's be honest, is going to hurt.
Yeah.
Or if you pop, like, then that's going to be, woo!
Yeah.
So that was me deflated.
Yeah, no, it's great. It was wonderful, and it's a shame again, listeners, that this is an audio podcast only because they won't have seen that incredible visualization you did for that, and I'm sad they've missed that. But hopefully they'll have got that from the noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that would be a problem if we just sort of floated off and you couldn't really control it, and yeah, so you'd have to either burp, fart, or be popped, and that. And if you got stuck in a tree, of course, spiders in trees. So then we can come back to that problem, and
Yeah.
I can see that's, but like we burp, and you said it's obviously better to burp rather than to fart. But it does it, why do you think it's that noise that we make, and it's not like a kind of like a whoopah or just any maybe like a paw? Why would you? Are you happy with the burp noise? Do you think it should be something else?
I think if the burp noise was like, if the burp noise was like,
Oh yeah,
that'd be quite cute.
that'd be
Um,
nice, wouldn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
because it doesn't seem so aggressive. Like, imagine that every time you burp. That'd be quite nice.
It's really nice. My worry would be if lots of you had all had fizzy drinks together and it was all going off, you'd think someone was at the door, or it'd be like dinner's ready or something. It's gonna be.
Or it could sound like you're all doing about to like break out into like a Christmas carol. But if it was summer,
Oh,
it would be like a summer carol.
that's nice. And in fact, then you could have Christmas carols that are just people burping to. Yeah, that would be lovely if Christmas carol groups all got together to just drink lots of fizzy pop before they go out, and then just stand at your door and burp in your
Yeah, because
face for
like
Christmas.
imagine if Ed Sheeran just created his new single was just him burping.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah. I think it'd be lovely actually, and he'd probably do it to that guitar. He'd play the guitar while he did it. It would sound
Of
lovely.
course he would. Of course he
Yeah.
would. And then if imagine then if Dua Lipa came along and then sang along with him, but then her burps were
Yeah. That's really nice.
yeah.
You paint a really nice idea of a lovely world where burps are. I mean, do you think they need to be the noise we make though? Because like if they're all jingling, I suppose we'd all want to burp all the time. I don't know if we'd get anything else done.
Yeah, but I think that'd be quite fun. Wouldn't
Yeah.
you just imagine that? It'd be quite fun. And I think after a while people will just get bored of it, but that's fine. But I feel like everyone should have their own different tone of like bell, because then I think the different units, the different like sounds, it would just be like an orchestra all the time.
Ah, it'd be lovely actually. I just think, yeah, I really like it. What was the famous is like Tubular Bells, a famous album of just bells, and I think we'd all get to make our own sort of bells. Oh yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
And don't you do all your with your calming of animals? A bell's probably quite important. I'd have thought for calming.
No, actually, for animals, it does the opposite. It
Oh,
is
okay.
quite alarming. It is quite alarming for bells.
Oh, so would that be a
So
problem then if we all? if our burps were like bells, would we get attacked by bulls all the time?
Um, oh damn it. Yeah, that might be a problem. I tell you what I would have to do then is
Mm.
just incorporate like some sort of hypnotherapy for animals so they can tolerate the bells, so that we are both on both sides safe. The animals are safe and not alarmed by the bells, and then we are safe from not being attacked.
That's great. That's great. Well, it's a lovely vision. I hope it comes true one day. I hope it comes true.
Thank you. Yeah, me too. I think that'd be quite cool.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Wow. Well, that's. I mean, that what an incredible answer. So that's why do you burp? And then Chrome, totally legitimate camel, then asked or asked as part of the same question: do party poopers poop?
I don't think party poopers poop. That's why they're called party poopers.
Right. Do they not? So they don't poop in parties.
No, they poop outside of the parties.
Oh, and then that stops other people coming to the parties.
Yeah,
So there's poop everywhere. Not going to go
yeah,
in.
party poopers. Yeah,
That's horrible. That's a really
I
mean thing to
know.
do.
That's why they're called party poopers. They're not. They're not nice people. They're like sharks. They're not nice people. They're not nice
Yeah.
people.
Is
They
it
just
just
poop outside.
jealousy they haven't been invited, or what's
I
the?
think it might be. I think it's either jealousy or that their farts are just so bad that no one would tolerate them, which is why they have to fart outside of parties because they want no one else to enjoy
Right,
smelling.
right, right. Yeah, I could. Yeah, but it's yeah because we yeah. So they fart and because they poop. So I'm hoping that they're not actually pooping. You're saying that they fart rather than
I
poop.
think they fart and then poop.
Oh no, that's okay. That's actually worse. Right, sure. So
Yeah.
right, that's really mean. I mean, I've never felt. I've not been invited to parties. I've never and I've not
What? You've
felt
never
like
been invited to a
I just
party?
don't. No, that's well, no, no. I've not. I've been to a party, but I've also not been to parties. So like, I've probably there are times I've not been to parties. Like I'm not at a party right now. No one's invited me to one right now.
I mean, I invite you to a party right now.
Oh,
Do you want
thanks.
to a party?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, where is it?
It's in New York.
Oh,
Um,
well, that's really nice of you. I'd like to, but I'm busy recording a podcast, so I can't get there right now.
how about after the podcast?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, definitely. I'll pop over. That
Okay,
sounds great.
lovely.
Thank you.
Yes,
Oh,
it's
that's
fine.
lovely. Well, great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that was very nice of you. But that was very. Oh, that's really that's really made my day. I didn't expect to be invited to a party today. That's really lovely.
yeah,
Well,
you're welcome.
I was going to say, like, when I've not been invited to parties, I haven't thought, well, I'll go and poop there or I'll go and stink it up. But then maybe I wasn't stinky enough, or maybe maybe because I do get invited to parties enough that it doesn't upset me.
Yeah, I feel like these people are not being invited to parties. And I feel like what we just need to do with these party people is just be like, you know what? I'm gonna invite you to a party.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they won't be party peoples anymore. They'll just be party pappers.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, because party poppers are those little things you pop, aren't they? And they go and they
Yeah.
throw C string over, so they couldn't become. They'd have to be party pappers because otherwise, if they were party poppers, then everyone would sort of pull their leg and hope silly string came out their face.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
that's just too aggressive.
yeah. It's far too aggressive, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got to
Yeah.
ask for consent for all of that. And some people will just take advantage.
Yes, that's true. And it's also if they are stinky and full of poop, you don't want to pull their leg. Like, I
No, you
totally
don't want to do that because it's like I don't know if you remember there was like a bag of chocolates and it was like you can get some nice chocolates and then there will
Ah,
be surprise nasty chocolate.
yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. And that would be the same with like these people. Like you wouldn't know which one is the stinky one. So when you did pull the city string, it's really bad smelling.
Yeah.
Like toxic, green fog fart in your
Yeah.
face. Yeah, no.
I mean, I don't. I feel like I may be being a bit dangerous here, but I suppose some people might want to like that could be quite a good party game, like one of those really sort of like you don't know how it's going to end, who's going to end up
Yeah,
with the poopy pooper,
yeah,
But I suppose also just horrible. It could be really horrible.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, wow. Well, that's quite a big. I mean, yeah, quite important. And I guess would you set up a group for party poopers? Is that would you? I know they're not an animal. I don't know if animals party poop, but would you put that as something you'd consider doing?
I might consider it once I've once I finish my sessions with the yak, because it is quite seasonal, my work. So like once I've finished my season with the yaks, I have to think about the party poopers. I think I could do some great work with them. Maybe teaching them how to not fart so badly.
Yeah.
How to not fart so stinkily. I think I could do some great work with them. It's just that whether I myself will need to make sure I'm extra cautious by what I'm wearing around my nose. Just so if anything does occur and there's like an explosion, that and it like one after the other things kick off in the session, that I'm gonna have to like make sure I'm disappearing and covering my nose away from the fart bombs.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a lot I would have to think about.
Yeah, well, you've got to protect yourself first, haven't you?
Yeah.
Otherwise you can't keep doing these. It'd be rubbish if you ended one session and then you got so stunk out you couldn't do it again. So I get that. But if anyone can do it, I think you can. I think you're the person that could calm down party poopers so they're less poopy. I feel like that's you're the person to do it. Well, and that brings us to the last part of Chrome Totally Legitimate Camel's question, and I should stress that this has 4 question marks at the end, which is why I've been asking it like I have. So it's not just why, it's why. So why?
And my response would be to respond with a question. Why not?
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah.
How many question marks was after that?
6.
Whoa. Even bigger question.
Yeah, because I think a question like why should be returned with another question, why not?
Yeah. Is there a danger they'd then ask why not why?
Yeah, and then I would respond with why not where?
Oh, I didn't see. Wow. Yeah, why not where? And then, I mean, yeah, that's kind of strange because then they sort of they wouldn't be able to ask why, where, why, because that's a bit too confusing. So they'd probably have to say like London, or they, like no, like Mumbai. They'd have to say something, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And then you've won.
And then whoop-ah!
Yeah. Wow, this has been a masterclass. Do you know what I have to say, Sikisa? This has been I knew you were an expert. I knew it, like I was so excited that you come on the show. I didn't know how much of a masterclass this was going to be in so many different skills that I'm a complete amateur at, I have to say. So thank you for.
It's all right. You can become a professional. It's fine.
Really, even.
Yeah.
Ah! Was that any good? Did I try?
We'll get there.
Oh, okay.
We'll get there.
So I really tried. I thought
we'll get there.
Oh, well, thank you, and good luck with all the yak work. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Namaste.
Namaste. Big thank you to Sikisa for that amazing insight into yak whispering, but also about burping and, of course, party pooping. I do hope, Chrome Totally Legitimate Camel, that you are very happy with that answer. And, of course, if you're not, then don't forget to write your complaint on a sandwich and then eat that sandwich so I never, ever see it. But also, that means you won't be hungry anymore and you might be less complainy. Thanks. If you have a question you want to send in to be answered on this show, or even you got just jokes or thoughts or t-shirt designs or any picture at all, or the best name you could give a pet flamingo, things you'd whisper to yaks, or just about whatever you'd like, then get your bungling Grumbletonians, I'm sorry, grown-ups, to help you email us at podcast@comedyclub4kids.co.uk, and they'll all feature on an episode in the future, as in like the near future, not in 400 years when everyone has hover pants and robot dogs. You won't have to wait that long. Also, get those same grown-ups to buy you all of our t-shirts at comedyclubforkids.store, unless you live in the sea. We've been through that. And come and see us live by checking out our live shows at comedyclubforkids.co.uk. We're at loads of festivals in the UK this summer, including the Edinburgh Fringe all month long, Camp Festival, and even more. So go and have a look-see and come and say hey by shouting your introduction noise at me. I would really, really like that. Now I've got an introduction noise sorted. You've heard that. Do I need an outroduction noise? Do you just leave quietly if you've entered dramatically, or do you have to leave just as noisily? I think the latter would be better, right? So let me think. If intro is ooh, maybe outro could be sort of like ooh, that's too similar. That's a bit horrible, isn't it? No. How about hey? Is that a good outro noise? Well, I won't know till I try. All of these things take practice, and you got to give them a trial in different places. But look, we'll give it a go. See you next week. No, that doesn't work at all. That's just horrible. You have been listening to Comedy Club for Kids presents. Radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense. It's the end.